Hmm. Okay, Virgo, I need you to stop whatever you are doing right now and actually be here with me for this one because I just sat down to open this energy and I wasn't ready. I genuinely was not ready for what came through. I've been doing this long enough that I can usually feel what's coming before I pull a single card. And the moment I tuned in to your energy today, I had to put everything down, just sit with it for a second, because what I felt was massive, not dramatic for the sake of being dramatic, massive, the real kind. The kind that makes you inhale slowly because you understand that what you're about to walk someone through is going to land somewhere very deep in them. And I want to honor that before we say anything else. Something is happening for you, something that has been in motion longer than you probably realize. And the cards today confirmed every single thing I felt the moment I opened up your energy. Your entire life changes after this. I'm going to say that again because I need you to really hear it. Not the watered down, everything will be fine version of that sentence, the full weight of it. Your entire life, the actual texture of your daily reality, what you wake up to, who is beside you, what you're doing with your time, what your finances look like, how you feel when you walk through your own front door, all of it, Virgo. All of it is shifting, and the shift is into something genuinely, profoundly better. Let me walk you through exactly what the card showed me because I don't want to just tell you it's good. I want to show you why. Before I pull a single card, I need to share what I felt the moment this energy opened because it's part of the reading. I felt a weight lifting, not my weight, yours. I felt the specific quality of something that has been pressing down on someone for a long time, beginning to come off. And that feeling, I want to describe it precisely. It doesn't feel like relief exactly, it feels like remembering how to breathe properly. Like someone who's been slightly hunched under something slowly standing up to their full height. That's the energy I walked into when I tuned in to Virgo today. And it made me genuinely emotional, which doesn't happen all the time. I also felt pride. Not my pride in you, though that's real too. I felt the specific earned. You actually did this quality of pride that belongs to someone who has been through something genuinely difficult and who has kept their integrity and their standards and their genuine self intact through all of it. That is not a small thing. That is a massive thing. And it's producing what's coming. Okay, first card. And Virgo, I inhaled when this came out. I'm not being dramatic. This card in this position for this reading, let me describe it. This card shows the figure at the absolute pinnacle, the highest possible position, at the top of what the earth element produces in its most complete, most established, most genuinely real form. This is the card of someone who has built something that cannot be taken from them. Not luck, not timing, built through actual sustained, thoroughgoing, Virgo caliber work and genuine capability and the specific, quiet refusal to cut corners, even when cutting corners would have been significantly easier. Oh my gosh, Virgo. This is your card. This is for you specifically. What I'm reading here is that the thing you've been working toward, and for some of you, this has been years, actual years, of building toward something that hasn't yet arrived in its full visible form. That thing is arriving in the most complete expression of it that is available to you, not a partial version, not the consolation prize version, the actual thing in the form you have always known it was supposed to take. Spirit is telling me that Some of you are going to receive news in the coming period about your work, your career, your financial situation that is going to feel almost too good to be true. I want to tell you right now, it is not too good to be true. It is the true version of what was always possible for someone who has done what you have done. I also want to name what the earth element specifically tells me about the nature of this arrival. Earth is the element of what endures. This is not a temporary peak. This is not a good moment that's going to recede. What is landing is establishing itself. It's putting down roots. The texture of your life in the coming period is going to be different in the sustained, this is just what my life is now way, rather than the this was a nice moment way. That's significant. That's actually huge, Virgo. Second card, and I need to just acknowledge this placement for a second because the reading is building in a way that is almost making me want to cry again. This card shows the Sunday full, blazing, completely unobstructed, nothing hidden, everything in the light, Sunday. Stop. Virgo, the Sun card, in the position representing what is actively coming into your life right now. Do you understand what this means? Let me tell you exactly what it means. It means clarity. It means warmth. It means the specific quality of aliveness that belongs to someone who has finally stepped out from under whatever has been casting shadow on their experience and is now simply warmly, completely, without qualification in the light. For some of you, this is going to be experienced as a feeling in your body before you even know what caused it. You're going to wake up one morning in the coming period and something is going to feel different. Not dramatically different, not fireworks different, but there's going to be a quality of rightness in the morning air that you haven't felt for a while. A quality of your own life feeling like it actually belongs to you. Spirit is also telling me, and I say this carefully because I want to be precise, that some of you are going to find that a source of confusion or pain or unresolved difficulty in your life is going to resolve itself in a way that brings unexpected relief. Something that you have been trying to figure out or navigate or carry, the answer is coming, and the answer brings light with it. The sun doesn't arrive tentatively, it arrives completely. What's coming for you has that same quality. Virgo, can I just pause for a second? Because I'm sitting here looking at these two cards and then I pull the third one and I actually had to stop. Third card. This card shows the imagery of the great wheel turning. And normally when the wheel appears, I talk about cycles completing. But this time with these specific other cards in this specific order, what the wheel is telling me is something I want to name very specifically. Your luck is changing, not in the superstitious sense, in the structural sense. The underlying conditions of your life, the actual foundational circumstances that determine what kind of day you're likely to have, what kind of opportunities come to you, what the texture of your daily reality consists of, those underlying conditions are reorganizing right now as we sit here. They have been reorganizing for a while, and what is approaching is the point where you'll be able to feel it on the outside of your life rather than only sensing it somewhere in your interior. I want to speak to what the wheel tells me about timing because the reading's title is very much about this. The wheel doesn't move on your schedule. I think some of you know this very well because you've been waiting for it to turn. What I can tell you is that it has turned. The turning already happened. What's approaching in the coming period is the visible expression of a turning that has already occurred at the energetic level. You're not still waiting for things to change, Virgo. Things have changed. You're entering the period where you get to see it. Does that land? because for some of you, I feel like that's the exact thing you needed to hear. Not that change is coming eventually, that it has already happened, that what's coming is the visible confirmation of what your intuition has already been sensing. I'm going to take a breath here because I need you to understand what I'm looking at. I have been pulling cards for a long time, and when a reading comes through like this with this level of coherence, this level of confirmation across every single card, you sit with it for a second before you keep talking, because it means something. It means the energy is very clear and very settled and very certain about where you are going. There's no ambiguity in this spread. There's no tension between the cards. They are all telling the same story from slightly different angles, and the story is that your life is reorganizing into something dramatically better than what you have been living. I also want to be real with you about something. Some of you watching this are going to feel a flicker of that thing Virgo does, where you get excited about something good and then almost immediately start looking for the catch, looking for the asterisk, looking for the reason to not fully believe it. I see you, and I want you to notice that impulse when it comes up, not to fight it, just to notice it. Because the impulse to not fully receive something good is sometimes the last thing standing between you and actually receiving it. These cards don't have an asterisk today. Trust what you're feeling. Let me share something honestly for a second, because I think it matters. Virgo, one of the things that makes this collective reading hit differently is the specific quality of what I feel when I'm in your energy. There is a very particular combination that exists in you that I don't experience in every collective. You carry this specific, almost unfair combination of genuine, deep sensitivity and extraordinary capability. You feel things more than you let on. You have standards that most people can't maintain. You care about the quality of what you do with a thoroughness that is genuinely rare. And you've been doing all of that, the feeling and the caring and the maintaining the standard, through a period that has not always made it easy. The fact that you're still standing in the full quality of who you are, that you haven't compromised the essential nature of who you are to make things easier, is not a small thing. It's the reason what's coming is as significant as it is. You didn't become someone smaller so the circumstances could feel more manageable. You kept being the full version and waited for the circumstances to catch up. They're catching up. Fourth card. Okay, this one is going directly into the emotional domain, and I need you to be here for it. This card shows two figures in the genuine, mutual, fully inhabited quality of real love being acknowledged and received between two people, both cups extended, both fully present. Nothing being held back or managed or kept at a careful distance. This is the card of genuine emotional arrival. For those of you who are carrying something about a specific person, a relationship, a connection, something that has felt unresolved or uncertain or like it hasn't arrived at its full expression yet, I want you to hear this carefully. Spirit is telling me that this is part of what changes, not in an I hope this happens way, in an it's in the actual energy of your reading way. The emotional and relational dimension of your life is part of what is shifting in this period. For some of you, this is an existing connection arriving at the depth and the clarity that it has been building toward. For some of you, this is something new arriving in a form you might not have expected. And for all of you, regardless of specific circumstances, what this card is describing is the arrival of genuine emotional connection at a level of authenticity and fullness that reflects who you actually are. You deserve to be met at the level you actually operate at. That's what this card is bringing. I also want to name what the water element of this card tells me about the quality of what's coming emotionally. The cups govern what is genuinely felt rather than what is performed. What is arriving is not a surface level emotional experience. It's the deep, real, actually felt version of connection that you have always known was possible and that you have perhaps had to wait longer than felt fair to receive. And I want to be specific about something Spirit is showing me for some of you in this collective. The connection that is coming or that is deepening carries a quality of being seen, not the polished, curated, this is the version I present to the world version of being seen, the actual you, the one who thinks too much and cares too much and has standards that sometimes feel like a burden because finding someone who can meet them is harder than it should be. That version, that's the one who is being reached for. That's the one this card is about. The wait is ending, Virgo. Okay, I need a second before the last card because looking at what this spread has built, the Pinnacle card, the sun, the wheel turning, the genuine connection, and knowing what's in position 5, I need to just breathe for a moment. This reading genuinely got to me today. And I don't say that to perform emotion. I say it because some of you have been through something and I can feel it in the energy. And what's coming for you on the other side of what you've been through is something you have genuinely earned. And I'm honored to be the one to show it to you. 5th card. And this is the card that made me cry, honestly. I'm going to just tell you that. Because when I look at the combination of all 5 of these cards together and I understand what they're saying as a single coherent message about where your life is going, it produces something in me that I can only describe as genuine, felt gratitude that I get to do this and that I get to bring this to you today. This card shows a scene of settled, genuine, completely inhabited abundance and establishment, a figure who has arrived, who is not still striving or still proving or still waiting to be recognized, who is simply, fully in the rich, textured, genuinely good quality of a life that reflects who they actually are. This is your future, Virgo, not the conditional future, not the future if everything goes right future, the actual this is where the energy of your life is pointing future, the place you are building toward, and that the cards today are confirming you are genuinely actively approaching. I want to describe what this card feels like when it comes through for a specific person rather than speaking about it in the abstract. It feels like rest, not the rest of someone who has given up, the rest of someone who has arrived at something they have been building toward for a long time and who is now simply, genuinely, warmly in it. The specific quality of waking up in your own life and having it feel like yours, actually, truly, undeniably yours. That's what this card is showing me for you. And can I just say something? Because I feel like I need to say this before Spirit lets me move on. Some of you have been living a version of your life that has been smaller than who you are, not because you chose small, because the circumstances around you haven't yet caught up to the full size of what you actually are. And that gap between who you know yourself to be and what your daily life has been reflecting back to you, that gap has been the specific source of the particular kind of tiredness that's hard to name. It's not lazy tired. It's been carrying something too heavy for too long tired. I feel it in your energy. And the 5th card is telling me that gap is closing. What is arriving is a life that is actually sized to who you are rather than who the circumstances allowed you to be. Spirit is saying to me very clearly, and I want to pass this on exactly as it's coming through, that what you have been through was not wasted. Every difficult thing, every period of uncertainty, every moment when you kept going, even when keeping going was hard, every time you maintained the standard of who you are, even when lowering it would have been easier, none of it was wasted. It was the price of admission to the life that this card is depicting, and you paid it, and you're arriving. Virgo, before I close, I want to say one thing directly to you. I know some of you are going to watch this, and part of you is going to want to let yourself receive it fully, and part of you is going to hold it at arm's length, because Virgo doesn't always make it easy for themselves to receive something this significant without running it through the full analytical filter first, without checking it against all available evidence and noting the places where it hasn't arrived yet. I understand that, and I honor it. But today I want to ask you to do something that might not come naturally, just for this moment, just for the next few seconds before the analysis starts. Let this land. Let the full weight of what these cards are saying arrive in you at the level where it belongs, which is the level below the analysis, the level where you actually live and actually feel things. Let yourself believe, just for a second, that what is coming is actually as good as these cards are saying it is, because it is, and you have earned every single bit of it. If this reading landed somewhere real for you, if something in what these cards showed today resonated with what you've been sensing in your own life, the feeling of something big approaching, the feeling of your life about to shift into something that finally reflects who you actually are, please share this with a Virgo who needs to hear it, and leave a comment. Tell me what's changing for you. Tell me what you feel is coming. I genuinely want to know. I read every single comment, every single one. And I hold what you share with me in this space with real care long after this video ends. Until next time, Virgo, your entire life changes after this. Not eventually, after this. The version of your life that reflects everything you are and everything you've built is arriving. Let it come. You've been ready for this longer than you know.